Good car, good traction, bit sluggish in left-right situations in very fast chicane. I didn't like that because, you know, I was like this, sorry about that, going like that, and the car was sluggish. I had to wait for the car reactions, control, and then go. We're talking about, you know, 1 or 2 tenths of a second, but that's important, as we said, because 1 or 2 tenths of a second makes all the difference around the lap, makes, you know, 2 seconds difference around the lap. So, car a bit sluggish. And we also had another issue. We had oversteer in turn-in at medium to fast turns. Why this happens? Well, as you saw, we made the suspension of the car softer. What does it mean? It means that the body of the car also moves more, especially the rear that is much softer now. It means that when you're braking, the rear suspension can, you know, move more up and down because it is softer, obviously. It means that when I'm turning in, braking, the rear goes up, rolls, and moves all the aerodynamic balance more to the front than I would like, and this creates the car, you know, wobbly and unstable. It means that I have to wait for the car, do corrections, and in the meantime I cannot, you know, make my line perfect and go on the accelerator sooner. So all of that means that I'm losing time. All right? Okay. So let's see what we can do. Return to the garage, setup, current setup. Pressures are pretty decent. Back again, tire set 1. So, and we are 269, 265 here, and 261. I'm reading the inner, the mid. Yeah, not too much of a difference. That's pretty good. So, here's what we're gonna do. I wanted to show you something, but I didn't bring my I had a big, how to say, whatever. Sorry about that. I will use the keyboard. So what I want to do, when you have the car, the chassis flex, you have the car, so the car gets some force from one tire, the suspension goes up, and the suspension goes up also makes the flex, also makes the chassis flex, and they go up together. Okay? So how can we limit the chassis flex? Well, until now we knew that anti-roll bars control the roll of the car, but they can also control a little bit of the flex, making the chassis more rigid. How they do that? So here's the situation. So normally you get a bump or a roll, the suspension goes up and flexes. Let's say that this is the body, flexes the body. Okay? So normally that's what happens. But if you take the anti-roll bar, and now this is the left, the right, and this is the left, okay? And you fix it somewhere. So you fix it at the body. Usually the roll bars are fixed in 2 points of the body. That means that the suspension will go up here, and will try to go up also on the other, go down on the other side, and that will make also, will control the flex also. So you, instead of having just one part of the body going up, you get them both doing the same thing, you know. So what we're gonna try here is we're gonna make the rear anti-roll bar much stiffer, which is counterintuitive, but it works now. It will make both the chassis flex more, which is more difficult for the chassis to flex more in both situations. So as a result, the chassis will flex a little bit less, you know, as a result of difference between left and right. And it will also limit my roll. Limiting my roll will mean probably that, you know, the inner part of the diffuser will not go as high as before, and make the car probably a little bit stable. So here is the difference. Here's why in Assetto Corsa competition especially you have to make as many compromises as possible. There are tons of compromises to be made. It's true that a stiffer anti-roll bar will get off some mechanical grip, but on the other hand it will give you some extra aerodynamic stability, which will give you more grip. So what we're doing now here is to try and find if there is a different compromise we can do on that. If that doesn't work, then we're gonna stiff up all the suspension with the wheel rates. Okay? So let's see what we can do about that. So we leave everything as it was. We're just going up on the anti-roll. You can tell me, okay, Aris, you said one click at a time, but here you did a lot of change in the real anti-roll bar. It's true, but as you can see, the anti-roll bar goes up to 50 in the Ferrari. And when you have so many little clicks, it means that a tiny click has very little effect. You can, go up 10 times at a time. So me going from 2 to 25 or something like this is like doing 2 clicks instead of, what. In other cars you see you have 4 or 5 clicks maximum, and that's it. Depends on the car. Right, let's go. Again, the same thing. Try one again. Pit stop enabled. We have 10 more minutes, so let's see what we can do. Yeah, mainly if you have a soft chassis, you can try and raise a little bit the anti-roll bar, both at front and rear. So let's see. Oh, so now the car was a little bit faster, but let's first, bring the tires in temperature and see what's going on. Oh, it seemed pretty stable. I was afraid to go in, but it seemed pretty stable. Car also looks stable on slow turns too. It seems to have less wobble than before. Ah, not bad. Not bad at all. A bit of understeer, maybe. Ah, here's the oversteer. It wasn't bad, but you can see that it jumped a little bit on that curve. But it's a high curve, so okay. Let's see this. This is the first lap with decent tires. Let's see. I think I've lost a little bit of traction. Yeah, you can see that. No, not bad, not bad. You can see the thing that we were saying before. So when you release the accelerator, the car should go inside the turn, but not by much, not by much. making a mess with gear changes, and I'm not really concentrating. I'm not driving well at all, and I'm slower. Let's see if I can concentrate and improve a little bit. Oh, that was nice. I have some oversteer if I force the car to go in, but that's me, that's not the car. I was forcing the car to go in. I have to see if I can make a better compromise. So, brake here. Car reacts pretty good. A little bit of oversteer in left-right. Lap time seems good. I have some understeer in turn in now. It changes the balance, the aero balance of the car. You saw that. Had a tiny understeer in turn in. Don't have to work a lot with the steering wheel though. Just a tiny bit of corrections and the car follows the line. Yeah, stupid change gear. Not too bad, not too shabby. A little bit of understeer again, turn in. Yeah, I'm a tiny bit slower than before. Yeah, I'm not driving so well. Up, a little bit of oversteer here. I think the rears are getting a bit too hot. You can see there from the temperatures. They are getting a bit too hot while I'm driving. So which means I'm sliding a little bit. Also remember that, you know, stiffer car means more temperature on the tires, so I'm not driving very well. Starting to get tired, but that's okay. 3 minutes left, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna enter the setup and we're gonna prepare and save our setup for the next session so that we can, you know, move on. Alright. Not too bad if I control myself, but okay, so let's go in. Alright. So, what we found out here, we practically cured the turning oversteer. We have occasionally even a little bit of too much turning understeer, which means, you know, we can control the aero platform also from the chassis flex and the roll of the car. But the car, if I'm a little bit too harsh, which I am because I'm not very well trained and haven't done much practice neither now, it's a tiny bit skittish sometimes. So also we have more temperature on the tires because, you know, the anti-roll bar is stiffer. So let's see if we can find a compromise.